Does the wheel strategy outperform the S&P 500? Hi, I'm Jay from NetPicks. We get the question all the time. Does the wheel strategy outperform the S&P? Here's a quick answer. It can in certain markets. Before anyone tells you the wheel is a magic cash machine, slow your roll, because performance depends on the stock, the options premium available, the timing, market direction, and how well the risk gets managed. I think the better question isn't whether the wheel can ever outperform. Of course it can. The real question is what you're comparing and what you're trying to accomplish. Outperform can mean different things to different traders. For some people, it means higher total return. If the S&P 500 gains 12% and the wheel gains 14%, well then the wheel outperformed. For others, the goal just might be a smoother income, a more structured trading plan, or a lower entry price on stocks that they already wanted to own. In a case like that, the wheel may feel useful even if it doesn't beat the index on total return. So before ever comparing the wheel with the S&P, define your goal. Are you trying to grow as fast as possible, collect premium, reduce break even, or just create a repeatable process? Those are different objectives and they won't always point to the same strategy. But let's talk about where wheel profits come from. The first source is premium from selling cash secured puts. The second source is premium from selling covered calls after assignment. A third source can come from stock gains if shares eventually get called away above your cost basis. But the wheel is built around premium collection. It's not built from limited upside, and this matters when you compare it to the S&P. Let's use American Airlines from the options chain on screen. At the time of the screenshot, AAL is trading around $15.90, and we're looking here at the September 18th expiration. Now for this example, a trader could sell the American Airlines $15 put for September 18th for a $1.21 premium. Since one options contract controls 100 shares, selling one contract brings in $121 upfront. In exchange, the trader agrees to buy 100 shares of American Airlines at a $15 strike price if assignment happens. So the cash secured amount tied to the $15 strike is $1,500. After collecting $121 in premium, the break even becomes $13.79 per share. So the math on that, right, is we're just taking the $15 strike price, subtracting the $1.21 in premium, and that equals $13.79. Now, if you multiply $13.79 by 100 shares, the next stock cost at the signed would be about $1,379. We'll do it this way. If you collect $121 in premium and you're sitting on $13.79 in case the option gets exercised, your return is 8.7%. Now, if American Airlines stays above $15 through September 18th, the American Airlines $15 put with the $1.21 premium can expire worthless, and the trader keeps the full $121. For this put selling example, $121 is the maximum profit. Now, if American Airlines falls below $15 and assignment happens, the trader buys 100 shares at $15, but the effective break even is $13.79 after premium. If American Airlines went all the way to zero, the maximum risk after premium would be about $1,379. So yes, the premium is there, but the stock risk is real as well. And this is where the wheel can look strong in a sideways or choppy market. American Airlines doesn't need to blast higher for you to make money. If the stock simply stays above the $15 strike through the September 18th, you'll collect the premium and you'll keep it. Meanwhile, if someone who bought 100 shares at $15.90 would need American Airlines to rise above $15.90 before ever showing a stock gain. So in a flat market, the wheel can look pretty good. But let's look at the other side. The wheel can also lag in a strong bull market because covered calls can cap upside. So if a stock rips higher, the trader who sold the covered call may have shares called away while the S&P 500 keeps climbing. So a buy and hold investor can ride a strong trend as long as it lasts. And a wheel trader may collect premium, but they'll give up part of that larger move. And so if the S&P 500 is in the powerful bull market, the wheel can fall behind. Premium helps, but it may not fully replace missed upside. Risk also needs to be discussed very clearly. The wheel still has stock risk. If American Airlines drops sharply, the $121 premium from the American Airline $15 put gives the trader a cushion, but it doesn't protect against a major decline. A poor stock choice can underperform the S&P by a mile. The S&P 500 is diversified across many companies. A single stock wheel trade concentrates risk in one business. With American Airlines, for example, you're going to deal with airline-specific risks like fuel costs, travel demand, debt, earnings, labor issues, anything else that's hitting the company. While the S&P 500 spreads risk across a much wider group of stocks. So comparing the wheel on one stock to the S&P 500 isn't apples to apples. One is usually a concentrated option strategy, while the other is a diversified index. Taxes, commissions, fees, and assignment matters as well. The wheel can create more frequent taxable events because options may be sold again and again. Commissions and fees can chip away at returns. Assignment can also change the position from an options trade into a stock position, which changes the risk profile. So on paper, the wheel may look super clean, but in real life, there's a lot of moving parts. So in all, does the wheel strategy outperform the S&P 500? Sometimes, absolutely. In a sideways market, choppy markets, or markets where option premium is rich, the wheel can perform well, but it won't always outperform. In strong bull markets, the S&P 500 can run while the wheel gets capped, assigned, or forced to wait for the next setup. In sharp sell-offs, premium only cushions part of the drop. I think the best way to keep above the wheel is as a repeatable process for selling premium, entering stocks at planned prices, and creating structure around trades. It may appeal to traders who want income rules and a clear plan, but it may not be ideal for someone focused only on maximum long-term growth with less active management. For a young trader learning a strategy, the big lesson is simple. Don't judge the wheel by the premium collected. Look at the total return, risk, time in the trade, taxes, missed upside, and what the S&P 500 did over the same period. Measured honestly, the wheel can be super useful, but it doesn't win in every market. The real question isn't whether the wheel always outperforms. The real question is whether it fits your goals, account size, patience, and risk tolerance. And once you answer those questions, you'll have a much clearer idea of whether the wheel belongs in your trading plan. If you found this helpful, click the link below to download a free report on other ways to make money with options. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.